A few years ago, I made this little natural insect house thing. I actually bought that box as it is. It was a jewellery box, and then I took off the top, went for a walk with Marley and collected these natural little bits and pieces from the little forest, and then I put some grating over it and I painted it. And I just wanted to show you how to do this because I want to make some more. So if you would like to do something like this as well for yourself, then just continue watching this video. You don't need a lot. For this one, I'm only going to do one small one as an example with just this one piece of wood. You will need some mesh. Okay, so this is a tiny little bit of mesh here so that the insects can get in, but obviously birds and things can't. So let me just show you quickly what I've done. So I measured the length of this wood, okay, and it came up to 30 inch, I believe. So what I then did is basically divide 30 by 4. That gave me 7.5. So at 7.5 inch, all I've done is measure 7.5 and then marked off here with little pencil marks. So I'm now just going to saw those into 4 pieces and then we can get on with the next part of it. Okay, now they have been sanded. So I have a mini sander, but obviously you can just use sandpaper if you don't have that. But once these are all sanded, they should look nice and smooth so that there's, you know, no danger for you for getting splinters, and also for the little insects that go in as well. It makes it safer. So once you have that, you can then start to build the shape of what you want. Now, I will say that this piece here is a little bit more angulared, if you will, with the way that it tapers down. So I'm going to make that piece my front piece. Okay, so for example, I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but that's going to be the front. Okay, and then we'll have this piece as the bottom piece. So that's not going to stand up for me, is it? So we'll have that as the first top piece. This will then run on the side here. There'll be another piece that runs on the side here, and then we'll have our bottom piece that will go on here. So you can see already what we're forming. Right, so after we've done this and sanded it all down, we then need to affix these parts in. So you've got 2 choices for the back as well. You can either just put grating on the back, or if you have yourself some old wood still, then you can just measure what it is that you have from here to here, and you can block off the back with some panels, just bang it into these pieces here. So you can see where we're going, and I'll come back to you once these are all done and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I just wanted to show you like halfway done. Sorry, you can see me in there then. So these top ones have just been put on, okay? So I fixed these side bits with a little bit of glue just to help me basically guide it in. So we've now just got these bottom ones to go in, but you can see you have to get the screws, right, which will go... I measured these screws up just to make sure... Oh, my God. I measured these screws to make sure that they would go in, not too far and not too short, right? So make sure you have the right size screws for this as well. Okay, so this is what we're looking like. Now, I have just put a back onto it with some spare wood that I found. So you can see here, I pretty much did the exact same concept. I grabbed a plank, I measured out how many I would need, and then just put them on the back. So we have something that looks like this right now, which could be used as a potato chitting box, to be honest. But also, if you don't have wood to put on the back here, you don't have to. You can just use this grating. So you would need to just get some like little staples basically, and then all you would do is just use this grating at the back instead of the wood. So yeah, the next task is to give this a little paint, because I don't want it just like this. I'm going to paint it the same colour as my front garden picket fence, which is cream. Hopefully I have enough left. Okay, so I have painted this cream, which is the same colour as my fence outside the front where it's going, but obviously I haven't bothered doing the back because this is where it's going to asphyxiate. Now, once you're at this stage, you have two options of how you're going to put it up. So you need to think forward, because once this is filled in with all of the, you know, forest and material that you've gathered, and you've put the grate across, you won't be able to affix it to the wall unless you obviously have, or to the fence, unless you have one of the little picture hooks or something that you can do. So if you don't have one of them, which I don't, then this is the way that I have figured out. So I've just got a random bit of offcut of wood and painted obviously one side the same colour. Now what I'm going to do is I've already marked out in there the pencil holes of the pilot holes of where I want to drill or screw in. So I'm going to get the same size screws that I did before, and what we're going to do is we're going to have this little piece basically sticking out. Okay, and so after that's done, this is what you will be left with. So there's two screws in there, and I've just drilled a pilot hole ready for me to put one into the fence panel. So you can see here, very slightly they've come out, but that should be absolutely fine to go into the fence. So make sure that, again, your screws are kind of the right size. This was the best I could do, but you can see how this is now attached. This will obviously go onto the fence panel, and this is what you're left with, ready to go and collect your material and then put the grate on top. And the next part is take your dog for a walk in an area preferably that has quite a lot of good natural materials that have fallen. So any dead fallen material like sticks, twigs and dead leaf matter, anything that's on the floor that has been dead and fallen basically. If you don't have a dog, then just take yourself off and go find a forest somewhere, but I'll show you the little bits and pieces that I pick up so we can create our insect hotel. Perfect. Over here are some acorn leaves, basically leaf from an old acorn tree. So I'll just get a handful of this. Even if there's little twigs in there, that's great, because they can be used for all sorts, for hiding and spots and places for little insects. So I'll grab a little bundle and pop it into my bag here. While Marley is sniffing over there, we have a couple more spruce cones. These are spruce cones because they're smaller than pine cones. So spruce cones are great, and even just little bits and pieces like this, honestly, just be grabbing anything that you want that is fallen on the floor that you can put into your insect box. So that is your pine cone. You see how it is bigger than a spruce cone? Hold on, let me get my spruce cone back. Here, you see the difference? So this is a spruce cone and this is a pine cone, but both are great for what we want. And bonus, if you can see that there, is an acorn. If you can find the acorn shell and it's intact and it's still got, you know, like the little cup, they are great. I haven't seen any around. I've just seen this little acorn here, and then there's another one over here. But like I say, if you can find the shells, they're excellent. They're really, really good. So keep a lookout for acorn shells as well. This is what I was talking about, the bottom of an acorn shell. I just found one. I don't know if there's many more. Marley's coming over to see what I found. It's an acorn shell. He thinks it's for him. Another thing, if you can find it near the pine tree, are these. You can take each one of these off and use them, so we'll do that. This is Marley eating his fish after the walk we've just had. I think he kind of fell over and then decided, yeah, you know what? This is a great place to eat my fish. And we are back, and this is the bag which I took with me, and as you can see, we are full to the brim with all natural collected materials. So now all we need to do is fill up our little insect hotel with all our natural materials. This is what it looks like close up. So now all we need to do is put the grating over the top of it. Now I do have myself one of these staplers, so if you don't have one of these, all you would need is to get some little U clips or nails, whatever they call them, and you can hammer them into place around the edge. Once you've put the grate in place, make it as tight as you can so that all of these little bits and pieces stay in, but I'll show you that just now. And there we have it. So I've just cut around the edges after stapling in, and then I have got a hammer and just hammered all of the edges around here so that you can actually kind of touch it and none of these sharp edges are going to hurt you. So here is the finished product. You can see it's all been flattened, everything's in there, and now all you have to do is go hang it up somewhere and let the insects enjoy their new house. And I've chosen to put mine next to my adapted bee house that I bought just here by my flower bed.